Last week, I found myself on Ravelry searching for striped sweaters, and I kind of fell down a rabbit hole and found all of these amazing patterns. So I thought, let me put them together into a list and share them with you today. We have 10 awesome sweaters, all striped, from pullovers to cardigans. I think that's really it. And we're gonna go through all of them, all the way up to the one that I picked to cast on. Hey everyone, it's Natalie, also known as Nitty Natty. I love putting together these pattern lists. They're so much fun. I'm finding myself on Ravelry anyway, searching for different things. So when something kind of like strikes my interest and I go down and look at all of these different patterns, I can't help myself but put them together and share them with you. So I have put together striped sweaters today. So there's a range here. There are like some bold, really bold striping things. Most things are going to have straight stripes. I think we do have one exception. Everything today is knitted. It just so happened to be that way. We've got a range of different weights of yarn that are used, a bunch of different designers. My one requirement when I'm putting together any videos that include garments is they must be size inclusive. And for me, what I'm looking for as a best practice is to fit a 60-inch bust with the intended ease. So you're going to hear me talk all the details with all of these patterns here today. At the very end, like I said in the beginning, I am going to share with you which one I ended up casting on. I've already been working on it a ton and I'm loving it so far. So without further ado, let's get started with pattern number one. First up is the Northwoods V Neck by Jessie Made Designs. This came out October 2022 and it retails for $10 US. So the sizing for this is 36 to 68 inches with the intended ease of 6 to 8 inches. So a little bit oversized. It is knit in DK weight yarn, Farmer's Daughter Pishkin, which is a really nice yarn. So as far as the style of this, it is an oversized V-neck pattern with thick, bold stripes. There are a couple of different pictures with like different color configurations, but the very first photo has 6 colors in it. So 6 colors are suggested in the design. Something I really like about this is that the trim around the neck is a different color than the bottom band and the sleeves, like the cuffs, which I think is just a really fun touch, a little more whimsical. This one is knit seamlessly from the top down. It has short row shoulder shaping and tapered sleeves, and then stitches are picked up for the sleeves and the neckline. A really fun, bold start to our list. Number 2 is the Farnham Sweater by the Knit Pearl Girl. This one came out February of 2023 and it retails for 6 Great British pounds. This one is a little more oversized. It is 45 to 69.75 inches with 2 different suggested ease. Actually, I think there's 3 different eases kind of listed in here depending on the size that you choose. So 6 to 8 inches for the larger sizes and up to 15.75 inches in the smallest sizes. This is sport weight yarn, but it's actually 2 yarns held together. So it's a lace mohair silk and a fingering weight. The designer used the Sandesgarn Sunde and I think also Sandesgarn mohair silk, whatever they call that one. Okay, so this is oversized and drop shoulder, and it's got a mix of thick and skinny stripes, but all even. So it's kind of a classic look. You can see in the photos that there are neutral colors used, but I think it could be really fun if you used your leftovers, like your smallest leftovers for those skinny stripes, and did some like rainbow action. The mohair that you hold with it would kind of like blend things in. I don't know. I think that could be really fun. It is worked top down. There's flat parts, I'm guessing the fronts and backs, and then joined in the round. Fit is very relaxed and slouchy, and the sleeves have a slight taper. There is a funnel neck, which is kind of fun and interesting, kind of different, again, kind of adding to the more like classic sort of look. There's also the option to add body shaping. So the designer has a lot of detail, even in just the Ravelry page. I haven't purchased this pattern outright or made it, but just from the Ravelry page, I was able to get a lot of info about sizing. So there's body shaping. They list the two fit sizes as 29 to 57 inches, which would not fit into our range of size inclusive. However, she has graded everything to have up to 16 inches of positive ease, but then says in talking to her testers for the larger sizes, she actually suggests 6 to 8 inches of ease, which is why I included this pattern in this roundup. I hope that makes sense. It's a lot of detail in there, so I feel like she did some good research on it. As always though, give a read of the description, look through the project photos when deciding what sweater is right for you. Number 3 is the Sibling Sweater My Size by Laura Penrose. This one came out in October of 2023 and it retails for 7 Great British pounds. This one has a finished bust of 32.25 inches to 69 inches with a suggested positive ease of 2 to 10 inches. And it is modeled in different ease. I'll get to that in just a second. It is knit with DK weight yarn, which is the Sandesgarn Double Sunde. Lots of Sandesgarn in this one. So this is a very classic crew neck. It might even have, let me double check the photo. It might even have a fold over hem. Does it? I need to look closer at this. Possibly, or it might just be a crew neck, but a very classic looking sweater. Even stripes. The designer has done it in black and white for one of her samples, which looks really, really nice, but you could easily change out, you know, and make it a little more fun and bold, or if you're trying to use up scraps. That's what I like about stripes, is you can do a lot of different things with it. Okay, so as far as the fit goes, it is drop shouldered. You can choose oversized to more fitted. So the sample that is navy and cream has 10 inches of positive ease. And then the sample that is purple and cream has 4 inches of positive ease. So 2 different choices there. It is worked top down flat and then joined in the round for the body. Number 4 is Neon Bliss by Vera Valimaki. This one came out in April of 2024 and it retails for €690. This one has a finished bust of 38 to 74 inches with the intended positive ease of 6 to 10 inches. A lot of oversized stuff here today. I do tend to lean more towards oversized. That's my preference. This is knit with sport weight yarn, specifically Lobby Anime Sport Nouveau. Now, this is the sweater that I almost picked. I was really tempted by this one. I ended up going with a different one, but I really like this one. It is so cute. So it has intarsia on it, which, don't be scared, it's not that bad. It's very easy to do intarsia, especially when it's just maybe 1 or 2 places, I guess you have to do it, in the front and the back. So what this does is you've got this neutral stripe going every other one, and then you've got 2 different stripes that meet in the middle on the front and the back, which I think is really, really cool. And the designer says the simple single color rows in between give you a little break from having to do any of the twisting or paying attention to that. This is drop shoulder work from the top down, and it also has maybe like a funnel neck, I think. I don't know if this is the correct term for this, just kind of using it from one of the previous sweaters. And then it has a little pop of color feature, which I think is really, really fun. Number 5 is the Lykke Pullover by Sari Nordland. This one came out in October of 2023 and it retails for €890. Sizes on this one, 32.75 inches to 69.75 inches with a suggested positive ease of 3.25 to 8 positive inches, positive ease, depending on your size, and the suggestions are given by the designer for how many inches of ease to do for each of those sizes if you want the same look as the testers. Okay, so first let's talk about the word Lykke or Lykke. I tried looking this up and listening to different native speakers pronounce this word, and I got different things. So you'll have to tell me how you have heard that this is supposed to be pronounced. It's even a needle brand, so I still don't know, but it is a Scandinavian name meaning luck and happiness. I got that right from the Ravelry pattern. Okay, so this is a boxy fit with drop shoulders and has a really pretty chevron pattern in it. Ooh, I forgot to talk about the yarn. So this is DK weight, fingering plus lace held together. So The designer used Sanduskarn alpaca silk and Sanduskarn mohair to get a DK weight fabric. So the chevron is made by increasing and decreasing. So even though it looks kind of complicated, she says there's no color work involved. So you're only working one color at a time. So this is stripes, which is very, very nice. I think that makes a really cool effect. It's top down, first flat, then in the round. And there are two different neck options, a funnel neck. It keeps coming up. One day I'm going to have to do a funnel neck, or a fold over for a little more classic look. We had chevron stripes, now we have stripes going in another direction. This is the Sunde sweater by Susanna Kartinen. It released in October of 2024 and it retails for 12 Australian dollars. The fit on this one has a finished bust of 38.25 inches to 73 inches with the intended positive ease of 4 to 8 inches. It is knit with a light fingering weight yarn. I haven't heard of this yarn before. I think it's Miele by Ara Yarn. It's a hand-dyed finish yarn, superwash merino and nylon. Okay, so let's talk about the name first. And again, I wasn't able to super confirm the pronunciation of this, but I think it is Sunde. It is a Inari Sami word, directional word, which is an indigenous group of Finland. So the sweater plays with stripes and directionality, which is kind of the inspiration for that. So it's all over stripes, knit flat, and the stripes are going up and down, and they kind of have different lengths. It's really interesting looking. And then it also has an interesting neckline, kind of pulling in like different stripes. Looking at the pattern, I was also kind of like thrown by the colored shirt underneath and saw like different things. There's just so much happening here, but it is a V-neck with sort of a colorful red like piping almost around, and then the rib and then the stripes. So it's really interesting looking, really, really cool. Looks like it's a lot of fun to knit. It is also offered long sleeve and short sleeve, which I always like. Of course, you can often do that yourself by just adjusting the sleeve length, but it's so nice when it's included in the pattern because all of the math, especially for the long sleeves, are done for you. Okay, so it is knitted flat sideways from the center out. How cool is that? First the back panels, then the fronts, and then the sleeves are picked up and shaped with short rows. The V-neck is ribbed, and then the hem and cuffs are worked in the round. Okay, I think that's everything for this one. Super, super cool. Number 7 is the Gramercy Tee by Tori Yu. It came out in August of 2025 and retails for $9 US. This one has a finished bust of approximately 34 to 66 inches with the intended positive ease of 4 to 6 inches. It is knit with sport weight yarn, Sonder Yarn Co. Sunday Morning, but the designer says you could also use fingering weight, which is really nice. So this is another one with thick and thin stripes, which I just think is a really fun play, but it's got different construction. So it has saddle shoulders, which also kind of drop down a little bit. And I recently knit one of Tori's patterns, and now I'm going to blank on the name of what it's called. But it had saddle shoulders and I really enjoyed making it. It was a lot of fun, kind of a cool construction. V-neck, very nice, and also comes with short and long sleeve instructions. The short sleeve is really cute, but I was really drawn to the long sleeve. In fact, Tori recently went on a trip somewhere and took some photos in her long sleeve version, which is black and white. So I did take some screenshots from her Instagram to show you because this really drew me into the pattern even more than the pattern photo on Ravelry. And I just really, really like this sweater. So even though I didn't pick this one to cast on right now, it is definitely on my list. Number 8 is the Boxy Raglan by Johi Locatelli. It came out in January of 2024 and it retails for $8 US. Finished sizes for this one, 43.25 inches to 81.25 inches with the intended positive ease of 12 to 16 inches. So this one is definitely oversized. Now I am 95% sure I've had this on the list of one of my roundups before, I think last year when I did cardigans, but I wanted to bring it back because it fits the stripe category perfectly, and it's our only one that has a bulky weight yarn. So technically the yarn used is a fingering weight, but it knits, I'm sorry, not fingering, worsted weight. It's categorized that way, but it knits up to a bulky, and that is Moondrake Mocha Moco. It's a wool silk brushed yarn, so it gives this really nice texture to the cardigan, which kind of adds to the stripes overall. So they're big, thick, chunky stripes, black and white in the designer's sample. I feel like you probably could do a boucle as well and get that same kind of effect, which would be really, really nice. It is top down, one piece, and the gauge is 13 stitches and 4 inches. You use like an 8 needle. So this is going to work up super fast. Number 9 is the Whatever Sweater by Julie Knits in Paris. It came out in April of 2020 and it retails for €4. This one is a really cool one. It's pretty customizable, but let's talk about the sizes first. So it is to fit a bust of 28 to 62 inches. It is a sweater recipe of sorts, so you actually get to decide on the ease that you want. It is suggested to do DK, but use fingering plus fingering held together for a marled look. So this is a perfect pattern for scraps. I think that's the whole intention, is just to have fun and use up scraps. So maybe using one strand of a more neutral color and then feeding in your scraps to create really fun stripes. So this is a carefree sweater recipe for your emergency needs of comfort knitting. Again, it came out in 2020. It is a feel good, no pressure sweater project. It is one piece. It's a raglan, top down and in the round. There is no swatching. So I believe you start this sweater and then work it up and then measure and kind of decide on your ease and all of those things as you go, which is pretty cool. Great for busting those leftovers, and it's a comfy, loose fit. So I really like this one. It's such a great idea to kind of add in all those leftovers, and you could definitely use it for an advent. And our final sweater, number 10, is the Leith Cardigan by Rebecca Clow. This one came out in September of 2023 and it retails for £7 Great British pounds. So this is the sweater that I chose to make, and I cast it on, what is today? Sunday, 2 days ago. And I'm already loving it. I'll come back to this in just a second. So the finished sizes for this one, 33.5 inches to 65 inches with the intended positive ease of 1 to 4 inches. It is worsted weight. The suggested yarn is Cascade 220. So it's a drop shoulder cardigan, relaxed fit, worked from the bottom up with intarsia. But the fun thing about this pattern is there's so many different ways to do the stripes. So I'm going to show some samples so that you can see. You can do the big, thick, bold stripes like the first pattern photo, which is what I'm planning to do. You could also mix and match. So you could do one side solid, one side skinny stripes. You could do all skinny stripes. You could also do texture. So there's I think it's a cream colored cardigan that is all one color, but it switches between a smooth yarn and a more textured yarn, which is a really cool effect. So Rebecca's patterns are great. They always have so many options in them, and just going through the tester and like project photos with this one was really, really fun. I know 100% that I have included this cardigan in a past video. I think a year ago when I did my cardigan video. That's just how long it takes me to get back around to actually doing a pattern that I wanted to do. So I have chosen to go for the bold, thick stripes, and this is the center back here. So you can see it's going offset. So I'm basically making it exactly like Rebecca. Bottom up. It's been so much fun. It's addicting. I know exactly how many stripes I need to do or how many rows I need to do per stripe. So it's like just basically counting down to the next change and the next change. I have a feeling that this is going to work up so fast. It's been a joy so far. Okay, let me make sure I don't have anything else to share with that pattern. I think that's everything. Okay, that is our 10 bold striping sweater patterns. I've definitely missed some. There were some that as I was scrolling through, I almost included, but for one reason or another, I just like narrowed it down to my 10 favorites. So if you have a favorite striping sweater pattern that you want to share, please do so. Put the link in the comments below so that this video just becomes a really great striping sweater resource. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye!